What's good, YouTube and Twitch? We're live to both with a very interesting discussion on the gamble that is Genesis Impact right now. If you are pre-ordering this far in advance, you're gambling with the fact that you do not even know what those magical girl thief, the evil twin archetype does. We know that there is a new archetype around basically lore the deck. Alistair, Vare, and Demion, you know their names and they've all tied together. And then you have the ritual summoning Drytrons, which are kind of like this incantation-like engine. But what is new to Genesis Impact is that we are going to tune Chaos layout. Secret rares are no more for the deck building side sets. This is like the replacement for hidden arsenal to deck building sets of the past, such as Dark Saviors. So now we only get 10 ultra rares, and there's only 3 ultra rares per box in this layout, meaning that for a whole case you are likely to see 3.5-ish of each ultra rare. Only a playset per, meaning when you bust open a case looking for all the decks, that's how much you have to open to get to them all. Then you get 15 supers, 35 rares, and 15 cards in this set will be collector rares. So the collector rare market is already bottoming out because we have unlimited collector rares from Toon Chaos. The cards were going down also with the announcement of them being in here, and that's a lot of freaking collector rares. So I think certain top heavy ones in the future will start to climb again, but we're gonna deep dive into collector rares and how they will help and also kind of hurt their own market by being in this set. But let's break this down. If you use code What's Good 5 for 5% off, this is how cheap the set is. You actually have it at $7.34-ish. You take the 5% off and you divide to see what each box is going to be. For a case of cards, $58.11-ish. That is pretty darn good. You're usually looking at boxes at $60, and most products recently have skyrocketed with the surprises and announcement, but you're banking on this last archetype being good, otherwise you're only relying on collector rares. So with this gamble, I want to stress, in a case, you are only pulling on average 4. Count them, 4 collector rares, and we have no clue what they're gonna be. This is not a Toon Chaos set. Usually in a deck building set, we get 3 odd-off reprints that were $20-ish just to cool their value. Now, they don't need to be home run reprints in order to be a good collector rare slot. They need to be smart reprints, but we're still probably going to see stuff like that. So if I was thinking a home run reprint, it would be something like Infinite Impermanence, Blackluster Soldier. I just find it extremely unlikely, but with the collector rare model, Konami could have their eye on it, like Blackluster Soldier was the top-selling collector rare for Toon Chaos. What about a Brethren? That is a high-priced one. Put him in the ultra-rare slot, it'll still hold value. And then, you know, Konami Brain, I could see it, but I wouldn't bank on it. We are so early on information, all you can do is speculate and hope what Konami's going to do when buying. This is selling at like record paces. I got info from my sponsor on those sales rates. I've got infos from other people. It is selling at a record pace on the announcement of collector rares for vendors. Now, here's the kind of routes you want to think about. Usually reprints in a set focus around the themes. We know, like, for example, Cyber Emergencies, one of the named ones in the OCG, to go along with the Drytrons, because it searches the Drytrons. You want to think with Konami Brain and what that could be, and one that really came up from chat was, that reprint was so good, let's do it again! And Invocation is one of those $20 cards that does not have an ultra rare. This is kind of scary to me, and it goes with the lore because baby Alistair is around. But what I would find more likely would be to Alistair himself end up in some kind of slot within the set, and then to be collector rare. I think that is way more likely overall. I don't know why chat is counting. I don't know what they're doing. John, Twitch, I don't know what you're doing, chat, but okay. You keep doing you. Anyways, I think Alistair is highly likely to be one of those collector rares to go and parallel baby Alistair. And then when we look over here, chat, what are you doing? Seriously. When it comes down to other choices, like Stardust Dragon was a home run of a pick. Black Rose, it wouldn't be the most needed reprint, wanted a reprint, but if you put it in collector rare, all the community is going to go, Mommy Akiza, yes! Oh my god, myself included. I'd love some for plant format. You have the ghost rares going around. The unlimiteds are so expensive. To have another high rarity Black Rose after all this time would be so welcome. It would be awesome, honestly. And I'd love to Twitch chat. Why? We're live on video. What are you doing? Stop it. I can't tell what they're doing. It's so Papega. Anyways, back to the conversation. It's like, Mom, I'm streaming. This is like the equivalent. I can't ignore my chat. So when it comes down to it, you don't need home run reprints, and there's a lot of interesting ones you could pick. Like, you have Celine being, she has her younger self, a Link 1 in the set. This is a collector rare, would be a pretty good choice, but still probably float around an $80 mark, not a home run like Black Rose would be. You have other stuff like, we have all this spellcaster lore. What about an engine? Seeing collector rares of this is something that people would go after in the 3-ofs and would rival certain aspects, and then you don't have a higher rarity spellbook of knowledge, so that also would be awesome. Let us be Papega. Now YouTube chat's doing it too. They don't, Mom, I'm on TV, I can count numbers. That's you guys right now, just think about that. We mentioned Cyber Emergency, that would be a great one, but then chat came up with an even better one earlier. I can't take credit. Cyber Dragon would be so excellent as a collector rare to go with Cyber Emergency. Unfortunately, Cyber Dragon doesn't really fit, but if they're looking at Cyber Emergency and looking at collector rares, Konami could just 1 + 1 = 2 quick maths and put Cyber Dragon into the set as a collector rare, as one of those chase-like cards. And it's storming bad outside, by the way. If you couldn't hear that, I would be surprised. Seriously, though, there's so many options. They don't have to think too hard about it. They don't have to push really into any deep zones to get wanted cards that would be well chased after, well loved by the community, and it's kind of unfortunate. But when we look at Toon Chaos, look at some of these top cards, right? Gammas were sneaking up, but it was still like $15 playsets. Then you get the rares in here. The collector rare is commanding 100. It's something people will hunt 3 of after. You have the Toon original cards actually towards the bottom of the set, very shockingly. And the Fallout tier for the bottom ones is really bad. Think about this. Originally, the lowest, cheapest Starlights were $60, and all of these were staying above that and treading water until we got the Unlimiteds, and now even First Ed Deadliest here is towards 45 to 50. It is crazy what is happening on the Fallout with collector rare. You can get $50 versions of the Toon cards, right? Like, an Extravagance, its reprint announcement was really wild as well. You have so many cards original to the set as well, towards the bottom. Toon Black Luster Soldier being towards the top, along with Black Luster Soldier himself. But this was a solid 400 for a second, selling at 400. And now it's first edition's down to 300. And this is the top front runner. And it's unlimited is starting to sell as bad as the worst Starlights. The worst Starlights are like what? Around, there's all these numbers in chats and I'm trying to say numbers. They're doing it on purpose. The top Starlights are somewhere, or bottom Starlights, I should say, are somewhere around $200 after all these buyouts. Like the Dragon Storm, the Evil Eye, those kinds of ones, they're trying to tread around $200 for the worst ones, yet the top collector rare is now, for its unlimited, starting to become available around that price. The best one, the one that everybody wants for GOAT format and speculates to go up in the future, its unlimited is there and it's dragging the first set down with it. Now you're going to introduce 15 more collector rares to the population, just spiking it. And if that keeps happening every side set, it's just so many different collector rares. Only the top best ones are going to cling on. The mid one, like to their high prices, the mid ones are going to try to hold on towards 100, and the rest are just going to sink and fall out. Even if they're unique, wacky, they're stonks for the future, Toon cards that might not get another printing for a very long time, look at this fallout. This is pretty crazy. So when buying the set, don't just go, oh boy, collector rare, that's gonna be a home run, it's Toon Chaos 2.0, it's amazing. No, it's not. It's not like that. It's a deck building set. This is a very different situation than TCG exclusive premieres, along with hand-picked choices for Konami to reveal this kind of structure. Do think, again, with your investment brain. If you're buying early, I personally think there's not enough information to go in on yet. It is exciting that collector rares are there, but Toon Chaos had a collectability aspect similar to Ancient Millennium. That's why I said, go, run at Toon Chaos. It's great to keep sealed. You're going to be able to sell it for way more, and you were. It went all the way up to $180 a box for first edition. When it comes to this is no Toon Chaos. The collector rare could have an initial mass opening of this, leaving tons of singles scattered around that might sell poorly unless the last archetype pulls it all together. You're gambling on that last archetype being really good. It could have waifu tax. It could actually be very, very good. It looks like one of those ones Konami's drawn up to be very good. And in that case, I'd be very scared of what the singles do cost, and you got a home run on your investment in the collector rares would just be juice instead of what you need to pull. And again, a case is only going to give you 4 collector rares. 4 out of a population of 15. You have about a 1/4 chance of trying to get a chase collector rare in a entire set with just 1 case. A 25% chance. Calm down a little, take a deep breath, and think about where you're going when you're just yeeting money at cases because of how product has been this year. Thank you so much for watching today's video. Please subscribe if you haven't already. Give this video a thumbs up if you enjoyed the conversation. And Twitch chat, why are you like this? Seriously, man.